talk about hips and hamstrings. Hips get very tight because we're in that hip flexion very often when we're sitting. So what we want to do is we're going to start with a roller for some release here, and we're going to get into the piriformis. Now the piriformis is going to sit at the very top of your glutes. It's responsible for the external rotation of your leg. And so if you're running, you're doing a lot of walking, this muscle tightens up from pretty much like almost everything that we do. So I'm sure you'll feel this. You're going to come on top and you're going to place at the very top of your glute. You can place the other hand down on a block if that makes it more comfortable for your shoulders. Go back there. And then just begin to rock and roll back and forth here. You can also plant this foot down and then bring the opposite ankle over top of the knee. Keep the foot flexed to protect your knee joint. And rock and roll here. Just getting in to the glute. You can really explore this area. Rock a little bit forwards, back. Seeing what's going on. Using your breath to release that tension. For more targeted release, we can work with the recovery ball here. Right, this is going to be a little bit deeper. Another thing that you can use if you don't have a recovery ball is a softball. And we're going to get into the glutes here. You can run along the gluteus medius on the side. Get into the gluteus maximus. We have all kinds of knots in here. So we'll add that pressure, that compression. You can go a little bit side to side, a little bit of shearing to help release. Okay. So once we release through the hips there, we want to stretch them out. Now a stretch that I really like is to lie down, and similar to how we were using the roller for the release of the piriformis, we're going to send the ankle over the knee, keep the foot flexed, and then press this knee away from you, draw the opposite thigh in. One hand goes through, one hand goes around, and then pull in, relax your shoulder heads down your spine. And then oftentimes, maybe the hips come up like this. You want to press your hips down, keep the low back long, so you keep the length in between the disc of the lumbar spine. Navel drawn in, breathing, releasing that tension, pulling in. And then you can switch sides here. And then a stretch that goes a little bit deeper is working into a yoga pose called pigeon. Now, with this one, oftentimes I see this. People will come down, and so we're going to start in plank. Bring the knee up, and then you're going to get your shin bone in alignment with the front of your mat. Keep the foot flexed. Send the opposite leg back, but keep your hips in alignment here. So oftentimes I see people do this and they just like roll down on this hip. It's not really that effective. So what we want to do, let me show you on this side, is we want to bring a block underneath of our hip here. And then I'm going to take a seat. And then from here, I can open up through my hip flexors and my psoas, pull my heart forward, roll my shoulder heads back and down my spine. Maybe bring a block down here to rest my head. Hold and breathe. So I'm going to show you what that looks like on the other side. Down the block. If it feels okay, you can come all the way down. All right, so that's getting to the hips. Now let's talk about the hamstrings. Hamstrings, Cause some issues for a lot of people. Maybe when you're a kid and we were doing that fitness test, you can reach and touch your toes and you're like, what happened? What happened is that we just don't do it often enough. If we don't use it, we lose it. So we want to use it and keep using it all the time, every day. Flex your toes back towards your shins. Bring your legs together. Feel your air thighs slightly turn in and internally rotate slightly. Feel your navel draw in and then lift up. It's like you're pulling out as if like your hips are like a pot for a plant, and your spine is that stem that's growing up nice and long. And then from here, what you can do is bring your blocks down by your knees. Okay, now squeeze your quads. So we want to activate through the quadriceps, and that's going to help release and lengthen the muscles of the hamstrings. It's called reciprocal inhibition. Sit up nice and tall and draw your navel in. Now oftentimes we just round and we're like, okay, I'm doing it, but then we're causing a lot of other issues for the back, and we talked about that thoracic spine and the forward head posture. So we want to keep the spine long, back flat, all right, keep all those natural curves in the spine, and then from here, hinge over. Now squeeze. Now you're going to press. Squeeze your quadriceps with all of your might. Press, press, press them into the ground so you feel your hamstrings pressing down. And then reach over, 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 and then maybe we grab the toes, but you keep lifting your heart up. Neck in line with the spine. And then maybe we can come down a little bit deeper. And then maybe you place your hands on, or your elbows on your blocks, and you hang out here. You keep breathing. And then you'll keep exhaling, letting go, 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 and folding. Okay? So first off, the first key is not even to hinge forward. The first step is just to activate your quads, press your hamstrings down to the ground and hinge a little bit over so that you're releasing that muscle on like more of a neurological level by activating it, fighting tension with tension. Alrighty, so that's a great one. I'm going to show you one more for your hamstrings. You can lie all the way back, taking a strap. One knee can be bent, the other leg's going to go up. You're going to place that strap over the arch of your foot. And then bring your leg up. Maybe it's here. Maybe it's right at 90. Okay, draw your navel in, and then it's like you're pulling the head of the femur into the hip socket and holding that stretch. Keep the shoulder heads relaxed down the spine. Foot flex, pressing out through the heel. Spread your toes. Hold and breathe. Then we can also get into the inner thighs here. We can take the leg out to the side, but be mindful that this hip does not roll up off the ground. We want to keep the connection. You can also lengthen this leg down and then bring it out to the side. Okay. Bring it into the IT band here as we take it across. Straight leg. Once again, we don't want to roll all the way up and over here. You're going to get a deeper stretch if you keep your hips connected. And then we would do the same thing on the other side.